Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 68 of Project 𝐲𝐿2. Today, we got into this reactor right here. Do you want to see how we made it and how we built it and how we're planning to get power or get fissile fuel to it? Well, check out this episode. Okay, so let's get started on making the most important part of this, and that is the fission reactor. Like, honestly, we don't need the power from this. So I'm not sure if I really want to build the um, power portion. The turbine, I mean, I have the stuff for it, so. Three, four, five, four, five. And like I could use a building wand to make this faster. But you know. It is Malcor. Not structure glass. I need reactor glass. This is it. Get the reactor glass in. Honestly, I wanted to make this a 5x5 today. It just seemed the right size. Yeah, I think put the control rod assemblies on top of each of these guys. Um, let me grab the building wand. Show you guys how easy this is using using the wand. Okay, so once we get up here, let's set these control rod assemblies on each of these. Now we put the reactor casing there, and I think on this side, because on this side I want the if we're gonna do fuel, I want the fuel out on this side, or the steam out on this side. I want the fuel incoming here, and you'll hear the water input should also be on this side. Glass, there we go. And I will say, actually, fuel input here. The waste can go off on this. Yeah, the waste can go off on this side. So we need the configurator. Okay, so we're gonna hit this with the configurator to output waste. We want this to be input only. We want this to be output coolant. And that can also remain input only. And I want to build some redstone control stuff on facing our normal base so we can see the redstone control from over there. Using these fission logic adapters. Don't think I needed a fourth one. But you know what? I'm going to put a fourth one. I'm going to take this off here. Put that reactor glass there. Put the logic adapter there. And the remaining one there. So yeah, everything for the fission reactor is proper. It can be active once we have power or the stuff for it. I can English today. Configurator, we want this to output coolant and input right there, so we can set the sink here. How we're gonna input, output coolant, logic stuff here. We want this to be we'll set up the redstone stuff here shortly, maybe next episode. I just wanted to have it ready. All right. Turbine. I will place the turbine here. It doesn't need to be a big turbine. Even a simple 5x5 will work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And one of the first things we're going to want down in this is in the center of this. So roughly that square right there. We want a rotational complex. think that's correct. I mean, if you're watching me for proper ways of doing stuff, well, thank you. For the most part, I'm just guessing. So I want the electromagnetic coils like this off of this. Saturation condensers, we'll want them around the electromagnetic stuff. I want a vent on this, like I'm for the most part guessing right now because it's been a while since I've set one of these up. I'll be honest. I haven't set one of these up in a long time. Because normally, like last episode, I go with power for ungodly amounts of, well, electricity. So when I make this, it's normally like for a pack that requires us to have something made from it. I think I need 3 more vents. Okay. Now from the rotational control, we'll stick 5 of these down. And each of these can hold 2 fan blades, as you can see right there. All right. And we can set up a turbine valve here. We'll set the other turbine valve there. I'm thinking we might just want to trash a lot of the power, so let me get the building wand. Saves us a little bit of headache with this guy. And yeah, I think did I do something wrong? Is there like a controller for the turbine? Like I said, it's been ages since I played with this mod, and see here. Or do I need reactor glass? Because there's no turbine glass. I will be right back after I figure out what is up with this. Okay, I know that there's a few of you out there that were yelling at me. Get pressure dispersers. Yeah. Yeah, that's the issue right there. 2, 3, 4, 5. 8 of them? I think it's 8. We'll go in here and remove this casing here. And get these pressure dispersers up in the ceiling. Now, still doing something wrong. Okay. Okay, this is like the funniest thing ever. Why? Why is this like not working? Let me make 4 of these. And there we go. There we go. Apparently it needed more electromagnetic coils. Saw those redstone sparks right there. All right. Turbo vent. There we go. There we go. All right. So now this will get at mechanism. It is. I'm trying to remember which one of these pressure tubes. Yeah, we need to teach my system how to make the ultimate pressure tubes. So we can put pretty much what other stuff we have left away. And get these pressure tubes made. Oh, we had gas pipes already taught. I guess it was for the ultimate pipes that we had. Sorry. Let's see here. Pressure tubes. All right. we can now hit this with a configurator. And now the other one, pipe, right? We can now have it come off of this. We want to use the ultimates, preferably. And okay, so now this is getting water. Coolant levels going up. And that should be good. All right, so now we want waste barrels. I'm going to say 25, 25 of these to start with. We'll need them here in just a smidge. And now off of this, we'll handle the power from this in just a second. I think we can dump excess. All right, so now we want to make the we want to make waste, if I'm remembering correctly. We want nuclear waste, but we want it from fissile fuel. Okay. Fissile fuel comes from uranite hexafluoride from one of these. So let's make let's teach this how to make the stuff for the isotopic separator. So we can just request one. To do that's a lot of this particular portion that we're at in this pack right now. Is teach this how to automate it. So we need an isotopic separator. Okay. And that will be here. Let's see here. We can set the back to output and the front to input. So we should be able to pressure pipe this. Okay, so that is what we want here. And now this gets the uranite hexafluoride coming in from a chemical infuser, which gets hydrofluoric acid and uranium dioxide. So we're just working backwards, guys. We need a chemical infuser now. Okay, we don't have this taught to the system, but that should be simple enough. Okay, so we can request one of these. And we want this so that I want it to have the output on the front, input, input, and we can make the top power. So we should be able to put a pressurized tube between these two. There we go. So that's going to come in, or they're going to come into this and process it. Okay, so our next thing is we want uranium dioxide, which comes from another chemical oxidizer. Let's teach this a chemical oxidizer. Shouldn't be that hard to do. All right, so we got all this stuff. This is the longest part of this, is teaching this system. But once we start getting the chemical oxidizer and that type of stuff set up, it's going to be good stuff. Chemical oxidizer. There we go. We'll need one of these. And we can set this up. Like that. Okay, so now we can make sure that the output is the front. And we can make the input come in from the back. So this should also be a gas. Wait. Is it a fluid or is it a gas? Should be a gas. Right? Or is that like not the front? Let's Okay, so that's the front. So that's the where the yellow cake comes in. All right, which comes from an enrichment chamber. So we could just set down an enrichment chamber right beside it. Enrichment. Did I not teach this how to make enrichment chambers? It should have already known how to make an enrichment chamber. Oh well. We'll set down an enrichment chamber. Like so. So we can have it output to that side. We'll have it input from the left. And we'll auto eject on. And now this needs uranium ingots. See here, do we have uranium ingots in here? Okay, so I'm not sure how we're getting uranium ingots. Is it... okay, so it is something we are sitting for. So that will go in here. Yellow cake into the oxidizer. This will give us the uranium oxide. So this side, all it needs is an input, an exporter from here, and uranium. That's all that. That's good. I know we're running close to the edge of the time here. But this is going to be a little bit longer just so we can get our nuclear waste set up. Okay, so now we are looking at the hydrofluoric acid. Right? The hydrofluoric acid becomes uranium hexafluoride fluoride. Okay, so yeah, uranium, which requires a chemical dissolution chamber. Okay, so chemical dissolution chamber. Simple enough. We can teach this. There we go. We got this. And that will go along on this side. Okay. Now, we can apply the pressure here, where this will get, well, this will output here. Right? So far, this requires two things to make sulfuric acid and fluoride blocks, okay? Or fluoride. So fluorite is simple enough, right? If I spelled it right. Yeah, we're getting this from something. I can't remember what we're sieving that has it. Sand. Sand, that's where we're getting it from, is the sand. Okay, so now that that is set up, we need an importer for fluorite on the top. Right? Importer or exporter. That's it. Exporter. We can have it export the fluorite right in the top here. We can make sure that on the top it receives the items. All right, so sulfuric acid is the next thing. Sulfuric acid comes from water vapor and sulfur trioxide from a chemical infuser. So we need a chemical infuser. Right. So once we get the chemical infuser here, we can say it gases will output to the front, auto eject on. It will have one input on the side and one input on the back, because we're going to make the power coming in. Well, I'll show you here in just a second. Water vapor and sodium trioxide. So water vapor comes from a rotary condenser. Yeah, I'm making this a very tight fit. If I can remember, rotary condenser. Okay, so this can go here. Side configurations, front, output for gas. Okay. And back will be input. Okay, so now we should be able to put a mechanical pipe right here. Site configuration, fluids, input. We need to set this. Oh, okay. There we go. We needed to set it to decondense, which now we are getting water vapors into there. All right, so we got the water vapors. Next, we need sodium trioxide, which comes from oxygen and sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide comes from sulfur dust. So, okay, so the next thing we need is a chemical infuser. Leading into this chemical infuser. A lot of chemical infusers. But it's simple enough, simple enough. Okay, so now, again, we configure this so that gases go out the front on the back and left-hand side here. We want the oxygen to come in here. So oxygen we get from a electrolytic separator. So we need a can we spell today? Electrolytic separator. Teach you the recipes. Because this should have been something that it should have had already. Because I've already made these before, so I might not have taught the system then, but it's one of those things that, yeah, you should have had those already, Malcor. All right, so we can have the electrolytic separator here. We can say your outputs will not be like that. I think this one will be oxygen. I can't be sure. I just need a bucket of water first. And we can see here. Okay, yeah, it's the till that is what we need. So gases will auto eject off. Okay, so we want output 2. And there we go. And this can dump excess of the hydrogen. So now that's getting the oxygen that it needs, and now, so it's got the oxygen, so it needs the sulfur dioxide, which requires one of these lovely chemical oxidizers. Might have to move these around a little bit, but this is just my initial setup. Front, we want gases to eject out the front. All right, and you can input on any of those, which now we need sulfur dust. Do we have sulfur dust in here? Yes, we get sulfur dust from sieving, so sulfur dust can be pumped out with an exporter. All right. Okay, we can say, do you get sulfur dust? All right, so now the reason why we did it this way is we can do that, get a flux point here. Set up the wireless, and we can watch this all work. Okay, that's building up oxygen. This is odd. This should be working here. Okay, we're getting that in here now. So I'm gonna spend some time off camera between episodes figuring this up, and we'll come back and finish this build up. Hopefully getting it all working. So if you like this episode, hit that like button. If you dislike this episode, hit that dislike button. And until next time, later, Gators.